Well guys, San Diego Comic-Con 2026 is officially over and done with, and now the next big convention that Funko will be attending is none other than New York Comic-Con this upcoming October. And so for today's video, I'm going to be making my very early predictions for New York Comic-Con 2026 exclusives from Funko. I'm going to be making a total of 6 predictions for pops that I think could be made for New York Comic-Con this year, and a lot of them will be based off of trends, whether it be based off of the previous con, anniversaries of movies or TV shows, or maybe if a movie had just released and then a pop could be released. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but nonetheless, let's kick off this video. With the very first prediction I have being a pop of Funko's newest character, Skully. This character has definitely made some headlines within the Funko community because rumor has it that this character of Skully is going to be the replacement of Freddy Funko as the newest mascot for the company. Now, whether or not I think that is a good decision, I think is something I would discuss in like a different video, but I actually like the concept of this character. I think that because we already have the 4 different variants of Skully that released, I believe, on the Funko shop already, that the first Comic-Con presence of this character will take place at New York Comic-Con. Now, I think it definitely makes sense that because New York Comic-Con takes place around the time of Halloween, that this character, especially being a skeleton, is gonna be some sort of Halloween-related pop, just like how we were introduced to Franny Funko during C2E2 in 2024, and a bit of a theme for that Comic-Con. I think we're gonna get the exact same thing for Funko's newest character, Skully, to really stamp in the approval of being one of the newer characters alongside, of course, Freddy Funko, Franny Funko, and Proto the dog. My second prediction for New York Comic-Con, absolute flash for DC Comics. Now, this definitely is based on the trend of the last convention of San Diego Comic-Con, because we had the 3 absolute pops of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman released for that convention. And so I feel that that trend is going to continue by basically doing the rest of the Justice League in the form of absolute, which they have done with Flash and Green Lantern. I'm not entirely sure if they did it with Cyborg, but if they did do it with Cyborg, then I can see another set of 3 absolute DC Comics characters be made into pop form to go along with the ones that they made for San Diego Comic-Con. DC Comics also had this kind of trend last year, where at San Diego Comic-Con we had the Kingdom Come Batman, and then for New York Comic-Con we had the release of the Kingdom Come Superman. And if I were to start predicting whether these would be limited edition or not in the specific category of it, I'm gonna say of course it definitely will be, and it will be the same rarity of legendary to go alongside the other pops from San Diego Comic-Con. My third prediction for New York Comic-Con is the White Dragon Wormling from Dungeons and Dragons. Now, not only is this basically a trend from the last convention of San Diego Comic-Con, but the conventions that Funko have done all year round. Already at the beginning of the year on the Funko shop, we had the Blue Dragon Wormling, and then for Emerald City Comic-Con, the first convention Funko did, we had the Brass Dragon Wormling, and then of course for San Diego Comic-Con, we had the Red Dragon Wormling. Now, of course, especially if you are a big fan of D&D and probably know about this more than I have, you know that there are different versions of the dragon wormlings, and there could be a big chance that maybe it is a wormling, but I'm gonna end up getting it wrong because of course there is, like, I believe a green dragon wormling, a black dragon wormling, I believe there's also like a gold dragon wormling, but this is basically a trifecta of stuff that Funko has done all year round. Like how, let's say for example, last year in 2025 we had the Gen 2 legendary Pokemons of Suicune, Entei, and Raikou all be made for the 3 big cons for Funko last year, and I see that kind of trend happening for Dungeons and Dragons, more specifically the Wormlings this time around, where we had the brass one for Emerald City, the red one for San Diego, and now we're gonna get another one for New York Comic-Con. I'm confident that it will be a dragon wormling, but I'm not confident that it's the right one that ends up being correct for New York Comic-Con.
Shoutout goes to
unacceptable viewer. And the reason that they ended up getting a shout out is because they joined our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Not only do you get the shout out, but you do get lots of other perks, including early access to every single video and shorts that we produce on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It will be greatly appreciated and will go a long way of helping out this channel a lot. So definitely consider it, but let's get right back to the video. My fourth prediction for New York Comic Con, Jean Grey from Spider-Man Brand New Day. Of course, it's already now been confirmed that Jean Grey is the character that Sadie Sink, famously known from playing Max in Stranger Things, has played in this specific movie. After so many months of people asking her what character she is playing, and whenever she goes to tease it, something happens to where you don't end up finding out. And I'm not sure how this character is going to look because, like I mentioned, I have yet to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. I just knew that there would have been some sort of pop to be released for New York Comic Con, considering that there wasn't one released for San Diego Comic Con, despite the movie just releasing right around the time of that convention. And because she wasn't involved in the 3 pops they just announced with Scorpion, the other Spider-Man, and Tombstone, I feel like she was definitely being saved for a convention exclusive, more specifically New York Comic Con. The only thing I know of what she could look like is from the trailer where she's wearing the hood, I believe, but I'm gonna say that we're gonna get some sort of Spider-Man Brand New Day presence for New York Comic Con, and I'm gonna guess it's Jean Grey. My 5th prediction for New York Comic Con is Dr. Nutcase from Toy Story 5. Now, it's funny because when I actually talked about my San Diego Comic Con predictions, I picked 2 normal Toy Story characters, thinking they weren't going to do a Toy Story 5 pop for San Diego Comic Con until it was revealed that they would in the form of the Forky and Karen Beverly 2-pack. And so I feel like with how popular obviously this movie has been, especially just recently surpassing $1 billion in the box office, that Funko probably has something up their sleeve for this specific movie, and I think they're going to do another convention exclusive, more specifically a limited edition pop of Dr. Nutcase because of the limited screen time that he has in the movie. Of course, Dr. Nutcase being the luchador Peanut, voiced by Maddie Matheson. And I really hate to say this, but if Dr. Nutcase ends up being a thing and limited edition, I think he's going to be either a Grail or a Legendary. And I hate that more because, of course, that is way more limited than royalty, thus being more expensive, especially if there is, and there probably will be, another lottery to get these exclusives like they did for San Diego Comic Con, and then the secondary market pricing is going to be very expensive for it. But nonetheless, it's going to be something I definitely end up getting at some point if it ends up coming true, because Toy Story is my #1 set of pops that I collect from Funko, so it's pretty much a priority to end up getting this over some of the lines that I have been collecting. And my 6th and final prediction I have here for New York Comic Con is a 3-pack of the legendary birds from Gen 1 of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres from Pokémon. Now, this year in 2026 is the 30th anniversary of Pokémon. And kind of like I brought up earlier, Funko has been known for doing trends all year round for Pokémon pops, and especially the legendary Pokémons for different gens. I believe for 2024 it was Gen 4, if I'm not mistaken. I can't exactly recall, but we had the Cresselia for C2E2, the Arceus for San Diego Comic Con, and then the Dialga for New York Comic Con, and then, like I brought up last year in 2025, Suicune for WonderCon, Entei for San Diego Comic Con, and then Raikou for New York Comic Con. However, for 2026, we have yet to see a presence of any Pokemon related pops for a convention, and I did make Articuno as a prediction for Emerald City Comic Con, and that didn't end up coming true. And then we didn't have a pop at all for San Diego Comic Con this year, so this has me thinking that if we are going to get some sort of Pokemon related pop based on the 30th anniversary, and it's based on those Gen 1 legendary birds, that they're gonna make them 4-inch pops and slap them in a 3-pack, which is a great idea, but I do think that this once again will be a part of the limited edition program. How limited will it be, that's kind of hard to tell. It could be something that might be Grail. It might be as more accessible as Supreme level of 9,500 pieces. I think I just heard my oven beep for my pizza, so I guess that's going to be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys.